All right, welcome to the Week 7 with Talk Postgame show here with special guest Commissioner Foster Huggins because we're going to start this week breaking down some huge trades. So,
all right, so after Week 6, Jack Fields, manager of the Monarchs, was flipping out, needing a trade. Obviously, his team's in last place, looking for anybody. He texted the group chat, the manager group chat, and he's like, literally, I will trade anyone on my team. He said except for Cooper, which is funny because basically what happened was, started out with Zayden has been traded to, I don't know if that's how it started, but one of the trades that happened was Zayden was traded to the Dinos for Drew Lubert. Drew Lubert, veteran in this league, has been here every year. Besides this year, he'll be back for the playoffs only. He's been in where? Different country?
Ireland.
He's been in Ireland. So he'll be back for the playoffs. Zayden, though, has a full-time job. Jack Fields kind of finessed Dinos manager Carson Huggins, stealing his playoff pitcher. Drew's always been a good pitcher, but he took it from Carson. And then So Zayden, who will not be here anymore, is on the Dinos. So kind of a L trade for the Dinos in the situation. So Drew Lubert to the Monarchs, Zayden to the Dinos. The next really big trade was Jace Bleed, Sandlot phenom this year, has been really good for the Sandlot. He and Dalton Smith, rookie Dalton Smith, have been traded to the Monarchs. Jack Fields trades away Connor Olson, who's been a great player for him. He trades him to the Sandlot. And then, on top of that, he gifted Cooper Simpson. Cooper Simpson's been gifted now twice this year. And so now the Sandlot team is looking like Connor Olson, Conlon Downey, and Cooper, while the Monarchs are looking like Jack Fields, Jace Bleed, and then Micah, because Dalton Smith probably will never show up. But, yeah, that's pretty much the biggest trades right there. Really a lot of flip-flop, and it's crazy, y'all.
Yeah, so the landscape of the league really changed going into Week 7, almost the end of the year. It really makes power rankings hard, predicting who's going to be good hard, all that kind of thing. But we're first going to go into game recaps before we go to those power rankings. First game, Dinos versus Sandlot. Now, the Dinos are missing Carson and Brady, and then also Mason for the first half of the game. Rolled out a lineup of Kai pitching, me in left field, Aiden in right, with Malik even getting at bat before he had to leave for work.
Interim manager, Spencer Harris.
I was interim manager because I was the interim because our actual interim manager, Brady, also wasn't there. But Kai pitched really well. Sandlot barely even got on base for him. Dinos won 5-1 without their two best players, without two guys that have been in MVP talks the whole year. Huge win for the Dinos. Great to see. Game number 2, Cows versus Monarchs. I feel like I say this once or twice a week, but it was a pitching battle. By the end of it, the Cows won 3-1. Basically, pitching battle means not a lot of people scoring because in this league, you're either getting a lot of hits or you can't make contact with the ball, and that really comes down to how well someone's pitching. So Cows got the win 3-1. Then Dinos Cows back up. Again, still shorthanded. Mason had to leave after an inning pitching this one. It's Jack Green versus Mason, and then Aiden came in. Cows broke it open. It was a 1-1 game, but then Max got a 2-run home run, and then Cows ended up winning 5-1.
Max
Never really
Kellerman,
looked back.
Rookie Max Kellerman. That's something I forgot to mention. The Cows, so I signed rookie Max Kellerman. Actually, he's not a rookie. He's just never played a game before. So he kind of is a rookie, but he's a guy that's been in the draft for years. Signed him, and he hits a home run in his first game.
Yeah, they won 5-1. It was a great game to watch. Sadly on the losing end, but as their interim manager, I still went 1-1. I was proud of how they played. And then primetime game, Sandlot versus Monarchs. This was the new look Sandlot versus new look Monarchs. Connor versus Jace, the two players traded for each other pitching. Monarchs scored 8 or 9 in the first inning, and the game was over from that point on. Ended up playing through 3 innings. It was a 12-3 win with all 3 of those Sandlot runs coming in the bottom of the third. Just another not super exciting primetime game, but it does leave us with a super exciting Week 7.5 game. The the Sandlot versus the Cows, the game for second place. See who gets out of the wild card game. Sets up a really exciting Week 7.5 game. But this week, no movement in the standings or anything like that. But some really exciting plays, exciting games, some new playing time for some players as well.
There was movement in the standings. Cows are now second.
You guys have been second and third. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it comes down to Week 7.5. The power rankings, I have the Dinos at 1 still. Nothing to make me change that. They have looked far and away the best team all year. I have the Cows at 2. Foster has really ramped it up. He's looked great. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later. I have the Monarchs at 3 and then the Sandlot at 4. Even though the Monarchs are the 4 seed and locked in at that spot with their new look, I just have a lot more trust in them than the Sandlot. the Sandlot have really slowed down. They started the year off hot and looking like in my prediction, they're going to end up in third place after looking like a runaway second, maybe first early on, but who knows how it ends up. And with the way the playoffs are set up, last year 4-seed won. This year, I think the Monarchs have a chance. I think they look like a team that could do it. Jack Fields, he said it himself that he thinks they're the best last place team ever. I think they'd have to win for me to put them over the Cows of last year. Silver Slugger after week 7, I think it might be locked in. Week 7.5 doesn't matter. Jason Foster tied, so that's really big. They both hit 5 home runs, which to me feels low compared to years past. Five is not a high number. Only 3 people with 4 or more. Brady has 4. Everyone else has 3 or less. Just not a big home run season, which I think was kind of exciting to see. MVP, in my opinion, I think would have to go to Foster Huggins right here. That's who my vote's going to go to. I'm not going to talk about my awards ballot past that, but I think Foster be the MVP. I think the managers are probably the 4 people in that conversation. Yeah, Jace had been there for a little bit, but he's had a couple of big losses as a pitcher, kind of slowed down hitting-wise.
Brady's been there as well, but has gone 3-3.
Yeah, Brady, I just don't think you can give it to a pitcher that's gone 3-3. He's been up and down. He's had probably the best weeks in the league, but he's also had some really down weeks. Yeah. I think the managers had to be in my top 4 with Foster at the top. Now we're going to go to Player of the Week. We've had a different player every week. Best player of Week 7 was probably Foster Huggins.
But we're going with the Manager of the Week.
Yes. Potential future manager, interim manager, 1-1 on the week. As someone who never really played, I had a pretty solid week. We thought it'd be fun to put me up here. So Foster is going to interview me this week.
So we got the official RWL Insider. every post is all caps, the official RWL. But anyways, Spencer, how do you feel going into the week as a manager without the 2 best players? You didn't really know what to expect, and you guys got a win out of it against a Sandlot team that, they were not doing too well, but you guys beat Connor, right?
Yeah. No, we went against...
you guys went against Conlon Downey.
Yeah, we went against Conlon.
All right, so that switches the whole thing. Conlon Downey, who was an MVP candidate going into this week, still probably is for a lot of people, and you guys beat him. Yeah. How did that feel?
That felt really good. I always kind of talk bad on myself as a player, but I got on base pretty well. I didn't get a hit, but I got walked a couple times, got some solid contact. But just as a team, I kind of tried to emulate Carson. I got to be honest. He's been a great manager all year. I took his mindset as play as a team. We always say keep the train moving. Nothing needs to happen in one hit. So we just kept getting hits, kept playing for each other as opposed to ourselves, and that's what's won the Dinos games all year. That's what got us a win this week.
Exactly. That's great. And then going into the playoffs now, how confident are you in your team going forward into what really is going to be an easy playoffs for you? You guys are right in the World Series. How's it feel?
I don't have more confidence in any team than our own. I think this week even solidified that even more. Even losing Drew for basically no one, we still are the deepest team in the league. I still trust our depth more than anyone else. I still think we've got the best pitching rotation. I still think we've got 3, even 4 people that can pitch really well. I think we've got the best depth. We play for each other better than everyone else. We don't rely on star power like I think other teams do. Yeah. And I think for a series, for winning one game, you want a star power that can win it for you. But over a series, you need depth, you need team play, and I think the Dinos have got that better than anyone else.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Dinos are special this year because there's not me on the Cows, which I've won 5 of our 7 games pitching, and then Conlon Downey, who basically carried them for the first half of the year. You guys, it's Carson steps up, then Brady steps up, then you freaking step up in week 7. Like, it's a very much a team game. But then some questions for you as the official RWL Insider. What team do you think will be playing the Dinos in the World Series, and why?
So in my mind, it really comes down to 2 teams. It comes down to the Cows and the Monarchs. The Sandlot after this trade, it wouldn't be necessarily surprising if they're there. They're not a team that I think will get there.
No, and if they get there, they're getting swept, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're, in my head, on paper, the 4th best team this year. But they're still very talented. This is a hard question because the Cows are pretty much the same team they have all year. The Monarchs are a completely new team. Yeah. Micah just started showing up. Jack Fields, really, this last week was the first time I've seen him care, and Jace just came to that team. So it's really hard to predict. I think I would probably go Monarchs only because I think they have a little bit more depth than the Cows. I don't want to talk about your Cows like that. I think if you guys get there, it's going to be because you are the Foster Huggins that people are used to seeing, and I would not be surprised if that happened. You've gone ballistic, like you said. You've won 5 of your guys' 7 games this year. I think if you continue that play, absolutely the Cows will be there. But if you don't play out of this world superstar level, then I don't see the Cows beating the Monarchs.
Yeah,
so I would say my prediction early on, Monarchs versus Dinos World Series.
Yeah, big thing for us will be having Austin Robb ever show up. Like,
Yeah.
Austin, if you're watching this, please come. Like, literally. But then last question, in the World Series, obviously you're gonna pick the Dinos to beat whoever you're playing.
Yeah.
Who, like, what in what game? It doesn't. I know you don't know who you're gonna play.
6
but
at best. I don't see any team pulling us to a Game 7, and I don't see us losing more than 2 games in a series. I take the Dinos either sweeping a team, winning 5, or winning in 6. It's not going Game 7, and the Dinos are not losing. You heard it here first.
Hey, I'm not gonna doubt it. That's gonna be weird for me though.
Yeah.
That would be weird for me.
Yeah, Foster
for sure.
has not lost before, so we're going to see if he can pull it out. My prediction's the Dinos, but we'll talk more during All-Star Week and going into the playoffs. That's the Week 7 with Talk postgame show.
See you guys later, dude. Hey, that was pretty.